going to show you a brunch dish using eye fillet. I'm roasting a piece of eye fillet, then we're going to rest it, slice it and serve it on top of a warm chickpea fritter. And then we've got a salsa to go on top. We're making a yogurt sauce to go with it. Trust me, you'll want to put this yogurt sauce on everything. It is just genius. Let's get some eye fillet cooking. I've got 600 grams of eye fillet, and the first thing I'm going to do is generously season it with salt and pepper on all sides. This eye fillet has been out of the fridge for at least 2 hours, so it feels room temperature. I've got a pan on here. Now you could use a cast iron pan, whatever pan you've got, and you can hear, pretty good, right? It's got a little sizzle going on, and it goes. There we go. What we're doing is we're getting the Maillard effect, which is what a lot of people term as the caramelization, and that is going to be flavor, everybody. So we want to do that before it goes in the oven. One perfectly seared eye fillet, that just requires a little extra magic, and that's the smoked paprika. Into the oven, preset at 200 degrees, it'll be about 20 minutes. That will depend, of course, on how fat your eye fillet is, so we'll be checking it as we go. Let's make our first salsa. We're going to need 1 bell pepper or capsicum red. Need to get rid of all those seeds. You just literally pull them out like that and then give them a good tap. Pith inside out. I used to work in a place that they would charge us £1 if they saw a seed in these guys. So I'm always paranoid about having seeds in there. So see, I'm just taking my time to slice it nice and thin. Moving right along for our salsa, we've got our peppers that have been finely cut up, 1 small red onion. Break them apart like that into there. Zest of 1 lime and the juice of 2 limes. So this salsa you can use on all sorts of things, but it's going to be delicious with the eye fillet today. The lime juice goes in, 1 garlic clove, some extra virgin olive oil, now some fresh mint. And you can be relatively generous with this mint because the flavor combination here is spectacular. Almost fine shavings. There we go. That goes in. And to give this guy a little bit of heat, we're going to get 1 little green chilli in. If you haven't got a green chilli, then you could use a red chilli. But before you put it in, be brave and have a little taste. It's got a little bit of heat, but I'm going to be kind to everybody today and I'm going to put the whole thing in. The real important thing is that you just leave this out at room temperature. If you're making it the day before, your guests are coming, make sure you get it out 2 or 3 hours before you're about to serve it. There we are. That is done. Let's make our yogurt sauce, and the key here is now some Moroccan seasoning. I'm using my favorite Tabasco, which is this smoked chipotle Tabasco, and I'll put a teaspoon in here. A tablespoon of your favorite ketchup. This one has got no added white sugar, so it's not going to make our sauce sweet. That's why I like using that one. I've got a baby cucumber to go in. If you haven't got a baby one, then just use a smaller pieces of a large cucumber straight down the middle, and then we want to scoop the seeds out. Now what we want to do is come along here and cut it into strips because we want a fine dice. The combination here of the ketchup and the smoked chipotle and the Moroccan seasoning will be just delicious. Chives, got to have some chives in there. And again, this sauce, same as our salsa, needs to stay out and be at room temperature. Next thing is the chickpea fritters. 1 cup of chickpea flour, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of your favorite Moroccan seasoning goes in. give that a little mix up. So we've got all the dry ingredients in there. Now we've got cold vegetable stock, and we're going to start drizzling this in while I whisk it up. And you can see it looks a little runny, but that's the perfect consistency I want. And give it a good mix up so we get rid of all those chickpea lumps. Bell pepper, which we've finely chopped at the other half, in. We get our spring onion in. And we are ready to cook our fritters. Let's have a sneaky peek at this guy. So what we're wanting is we're wanting to feel it give a little bit, and that is what we're getting. So I'm going to take this guy out. I'm just going to leave him to sit there and let him chill out whilst we cook some fritters. Olive oil into our pan, and you can see it's just starting to sizzle. You could do one fritter at a time, or two. And then spread it out so it's really quite thin. And I'm not worried about the shape. You go with whatever you like. They'll take about a minute per side. But what we're really looking for is golden brown, and they'll be cooked in the middle so long as we don't make them too thick. So you can be all ready before your guests arrive with your yogurt sauce, your salsa, a little garnish, just some alfalfa sprouts or some sprouts that you can get, whatever garnish you can lay your hands on. Your fritter's done, and perhaps you might even want to cook your eye fillet on the barbecue for a little bit of theatre. But if you're ready like this, it's really quite simple to plate up. And you look and go, that's quite a lot of Moroccan sauce there, but trust me, it absolutely will pay off. And just a little bit more of that yogurt sauce that's got that Moroccan on your fritter. Now we come along here. This is enough for 6. Look at that, beautiful. And 2, what I would call chunky size pieces on there. Now let's come along here with some of our salsa, put more down that end, and then just take the juice, that's that lovely lime juice mixed with the olive oil, and you can see the colour of it now, the flavours have come out, and just casually on the plate. Finally, a little sprinkling of the alfalfa sprouts around, and we're done. Beautiful New Zealand produce onto a plate for a spectacular brunch dish. And I love the fact that you can make that eye fillet go a lot further by doing it this way on those chickpea fritters with the salsa and that yogurt sauce you could use with just about anything.